Quick view of the fence. Today I'm starting to put my stringers across so I can start attaching my fence pickets. Right on the opposite side of this wall, this wall here, fence, pointing towards my garden. So right now I'm standing in the area that's going to be the garden for my subscribers. So that all there is going to be the subscriber garden. And then this will all be planter boxes, towers, tubs, raised beds, and then there'll be a trellis opening up to that garden there. I want to show the sunrise today. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful one. And then while I have this pointed at the sunrise, I did want to show you right here. See the cucumber? And if I point this down, cucumber, I have 3 in here I gotta find, but I'm gonna leave this right here. The sunrise is gonna come right up between the house and their little carport. Let me bring this up a little bit. There it goes. There's my first cucumber. There's number 2. Number 3. Number 4. So I got 4 really nice cucumbers. There they are right there. So these are going to go in a, excuse me, some call it a cucumber salad. Oh, there it is. See the sunrise right there? Some call it cucumber salad, some call it table salad. We just always, if we were gifted, we always did green beans, potatoes, things like that. But if somebody gifted us a bunch of cucumbers, or we grew cucumbers by chance, we'd always have them. There'd be a big dish of it in the fridge. It sure is, Teresa. And my mom would just mix up a huge batch, because it was great if you were outside working in the garden, and then you come in and you know it's 90 degrees out, come in at lunch and to have some of that fresh tart cucumber salad. And I'm going to do a quick video this morning after this documenting me making this salad. It's really simple, but it is a farm to table dish. And right now I have in the oven some of those jalapenos I was gifted. I have them roasting in there in my little toaster oven. And then those are going to get chopped up and then they're going to get mixed in. Typically, it's just, I put cucumber in mine typically. If I am fortunate enough to have any celery that week, I'll toss some chopped up celery in there sometimes. But I'm going to definitely add red and green jalapeno. It's going to be really nice color because it's going to have the white from the mayo, and then the tartness from the vinegar. And then I'll throw in the colored jalapenos, so it'll look really nice. It's only going to be a couple, so it's going to add some spice, but only a little bit. And then I'll probably toss in a teaspoon of horseradish. But that is only going to be about a 5-minute video. But I like for people to see how I make it. Glad you're here. Glad everybody's here. Hope you enjoy the sunrises. I didn't think I was going to make it out this morning, but I did. Like, I don't expect people to be at every live. I do lives that are 15, 20 minutes, half an hour most of the time. And then I just go through a scripted bunch of information that I have. And then if people want to go back and watch it later, I don't expect people to get up at, 7 o'clock, or they're in the, Pacific time zone where it's, right now it's 4 in the morning. I don't expect people to get up and watch, but I always appreciate if they go back later and restream. It's foggy there. Uh-oh. I had a couple thoughts this morning. I'd figure I'd spruce this little live stream up. What do you call a bee with a low buzz sound? What do you call a bee with a low buzz sound? A mumblebee. Larry gets up at 4 a.m. Wow, God bless him. So I was addicted to the hokey pokey. I really was. I loved doing the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around. What do you call a rat that is grateful? Ratatouille. Yeah, I get that. So as you can see, I did just remove the last of my, well, I do have one more. Do I have one more there? No. I've removed my cucumbers. And in a little while, I'm going to remove the plants. I'm going to get my blade out here and I'll cover these, and then this will become compost. But you can see, this is 7 foot to the of my trellis, and this is bent over. This would have went up. I would have been able to flip over the top, but alas, it is dying out. So I'm not gonna try to salvage it. It's time. It's given me lots of cucumbers, a lot of cucumbers. There's my pumpkin there from my first pumpkin plant. That's still going from May, and you can see it all died out, but it's still shooting out new vines, which is crazy. And then that one there from May has produced more over there. You can see orange right there. So it's got that one and like 2 or 3 more over here. What amazes me is this apple tree. This apple tree was about the height of the stakes here. Out, but those have to be, they're not supposed to be there. So they'll get pruned off when it goes dormant. And then that one's filling out more like a bush, not doing anything down here, which is good. I didn't want that. And then I'll do some pruning and hopefully get some more growth next year. That was my indoor potato. Yes, Teresa, I have 2 apple trees. They're different varieties. With apple trees, you want at least these for cross-pollination. So you want them to bloom at the same time. You'll get a better yield, more of a harvest if you cross-pollinate. I got to get out here sometime today, pick my beans for my seeds. I was going to let them dry on the vine, but I got a critter that's been coming in and nibbling on the bushes, the bush beans. So I'm going to come out today probably and pick what I got. That way I don't lose the seeds. Those are all pumpkins and cucumbers. That was that compost bunch I just tossed in those 2 rows, and then it grew like crazy. So that looks like, that's crazy. But I'm just leaving it alone. I want to see what happens. Let me turn this over here just a bit so you can see. That's my fence. And I'll go back today and I'll put a level all the way across. These will all get cut to the same height. And then I can go around and put my cross pieces on to hold my pickets. I'm going to try to get that done today and tomorrow. And then over the weekend, I hope to get most of the fence pickets up. Hey, Chef said. And then right here, this is literally, this will be a 15 by 15 coming out this way. That'll be my subscriber garden. So I can literally, where that pallet is, that's just to keep my dog from getting hooked up over in this hole over here and around that pole. That'll be my gate coming out. Then that'll be my subscriber garden here. And then I'll have all of my raised beds and everything there. So when I talk about my raised beds, my son made me these are cedar planter boxes. Once everything's done growing, those are just staked in the ground. I'll undo the screws, lift these up and move them over there. Then this will all be open. And then even with the dry weather we've had, we finally got some rain, the thunderstorms, but there, there's a bunch of green ones in here. It looked brown last week, but it's amazing. Pumpkins put out new shoots and they just keep growing. Sunrise still looking really nice. And this pumpkin here is probably only about 10 pounds, but it's a perfectly round pumpkin and the color is perfect. And then you can see in there is trying to hide. I got one way over in that corner, about 40 feet away, that's hiding. But ain't gonna hide for long. Grandkids will be here in a week so they can pick their own pumpkins. My dehydrator came in yesterday. So I've been running bananas in it to see how it works. And it does pretty good. It was a cheap one from it, but I'm gonna try some thin apple slices. And it does the dehydration of the bananas pretty quick. So I'm gonna slice them thinner today. Get my really super sharp knife out. Because I want the thinner they are, obviously, the faster they'll dehydrate. So I want to do that, and I want to try some apples. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to try taking some pumpkin out today so I can cook it. And then I'm going to let it thaw like I've been doing with that process. And then I'm going to try to slice it nice and super thin after it dries out a little bit, get all the moisture out of it. And I'm going to see if I can dehydrate thawed pumpkin once you get out, because I can get most of the moisture out of it, so it should dehydrate pretty quick. So I'm going to try, that's going to be one of my tests today. And I'm going to do a video on it. And I have my canner coming today. We got a deal on a canner for $61. It's an electric 20, it does 20 mason jars at a time. So I'm going to get some vegetables at the grocery store, some organic. Yes, Teresa, 99% of the cooking I do. My wife has a really decent job, so I stay home because I help with my my grandson. I help take care of him, and I help with his physical therapies, and I help take him back and forth to therapies, and sometimes run errands for him and stuff. So that's why we decided that I'd be, I handle it better just for the physicality of it, lifting him and working with him with therapy. than my wife would. So, and she's got a really good job. So I stay home, help with him, and then she works. So I do all the cooking, the cleaning, the YouTube stuff, all the maintenance around the house. Yeah, I see him 4 or 5 days a week. I have him tonight. So tonight is when I will have more access all night to my son's other TVs. So I be running people's playlists tonight, overnight, and a couple lives I'm going to catch tonight. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, I do all the cooking. So that's why if I'm doing a late, like a 3 or 4 p.m. one, that's why I say I got to get ready to cook, because yeah, I do the cooking. There it is. Not always, Chef said, but thank you. I appreciate it. There's some that would argue the fact that you that you say that. Oh my goodness, but thank you. I appreciate it. I try. All I can do is try. Get up every day, drink my coffee, and watch the sunrise. And then I'm going to go in and make that cucumber salad. I got to catch up on some YouTube stuff. Going to remove, like I said, I'm going to remove, excuse me, these plants here today. They got to come off the trellis because they're done. I got a couple little ones on there, but they look more like they're drying up than they're going to grow, because those vines are really, really brown and limp now. They're just falling down. And it's time. Because then I can, once I get rid of these vines here, I can get in here with my cultivator and my spade fork, and I can this up, get this all prepared, and put some compost in it for next year, because I grow potatoes next to those picket fences. And then, like I showed in my live yesterday with my drawing of my garden, this was my first trellis. You can see the other trellis right there, which is, they're both lined up with each other. There's a pole right there. That will be my third trellis. So I'll be able to walk from this side of the garden to that side of the garden, or I can take the tiller through, or whatever. Oh yeah, and I even have my little cultivator right there. So that's going to be the task today. And so once I get the canner, hey V, how you doing? Once I get the canner, hopefully today, I'm going to do a quick, maybe just a quick live showing the different things I have. Storage, food storage. Oh, and before I forget, hey Mrs. Paula, before I forget, let's dip down here. Another sugar pie. Not gonna get much bigger than that. About the sugar pies, I got those. There's another one in here somewhere over there, and one over there. And then I got, I think 3 or 4 over there sugar pies. But yeah, the sun is really up now, and it's only going to be 80 today, supposedly. And it was only about 82 yesterday, so I was able to get a lot done outside without feeling the need to pass out. But look at that. That's really taken off now. And if you're just stopping in, I just got my cucumber harvest. And that's going to become a cucumber salad in a few minutes with diced green and red jalapeno in a mayo and vinegar with some horseradish. Hey, Carol. Let me see if I can come over here so I can get the pumpkin patch also with the sunrise. I don't know if it's hard for me to tell. Hopefully everybody can. Is the pumpkin patch in there? Can everybody see that? Because I got the glare. So if you can see the pumpkin patch with the sun, say yes or no. Oh, hey, Natty. Yeah, so I got pumpkin there, pumpkin there, pumpkin there. They're all over in there. My grandkids are gonna be here in a week, and I got the clippers ready for them. My granddaughter's all excited. She gets to pick her own pumpkin. Some of them are heavier than them. If you didn't see, I do have I gotta get this up and hung in the garden. This is an old, rusted old welcome sign. And I got my cast iron sunflower that I'm gonna put on a post made to look like a sunflower stalk. Adults are just kids with just bigger, more expensive toys. I know I do, but a lot of us complain, you know, life's so busy. You know, we never have time for anything, and then all we do is create more work for ourselves. Oh, it's really coming up now. Hey, welcome from Montana. Actually, I should say welcome to southern Oklahoma. Don't know if anybody saw last night I was on Hardknack Farms. If you don't follow Hardknack Farms, hey, Mrs. Paula. Yes, Tennessee. I'm trying to think of volunteers. Go volunteers. Yeah, my brother lives in Franklin, Tennessee. I was on with, she invited me on last night, Hardknack Farms. So that was fun. And she's just literally about an hour and a half north of me. That's pretty cool. And then she invited me back on next Wednesday. I did a post about it, I think. I don't know if I finished it up or not. So if you have never seen Hardknack Farms, Hardn Hardknack Farms. And so she invited me back next week. Thank you. It really is. I get this beautiful sunrise. So hopefully next Wednesday I'll be back on with Hardknack Farm so we can have a continuation of our talk. And then she said I can stop in sometime when I'm up there because we go to Oklahoma City quite often, and she's just north of there. So I'd love to go check out their farm. Okay, everybody, time to go make this cucumber salad. It's not going to make itself. Then I got to get busy in the garden. And then I got to go over to my grandson's house, and we're going to do some therapy this morning. So I hope everybody has a great day. It's Thursday. You can make it. You can do it. You can just muscle your way through Thursday, get to Friday, and then it's a weekend. So I hope you enjoyed the sunrise. Everybody have a great day and be safe. We will see you in the next one. I will, Chef said. Thank you very much.